Nurture.
Yes.
Nurture. Engage with the child in more than just one way. So not just buying them the toys, not just treating them or rewarding them when they're good, but reprimanding them when they're bad.
Yes.
Verbally rewarding them when they're good. The whole reading the bedtime story and thing. Invest in it. Don't do it as a chore.
Mine does feel like a chore, and I'll be honest with you. But at the same time, I would not let anyone else do that. It wouldn't sit well with me if somebody else read the bedtime story, or told them off when they're bad, or embraced them when they're good, or was there when they're happy. So at times it does feel like a chore, and it will do, because some of them are some bad youth, and your kids know how to push you, just like your partner will know how to push you, or someone in your family knows which buttons to push. They know which ones, but at the same time, it's like no one else is taking that job from me. So I'll happily do it all day.
Fatherhood challenges you. I think leadership and being an example as well.
Fatherhood for me is a blessing and a gift. You know, so I embrace that. That's like having a gift of superpowers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You have to use them wisely. You're responsible for a very, very big thing here.
From a biblical perspective, is how I brought up my daughter. So I think the things that I installed in her from a young age, that she's just an absolute blessing.
You know, when my son comes and just talks to me and, you know, says, "I love you, Daddy," and things like that.
I love that I could be asleep and you can hear, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy." When I wake up, she's gonna kill me for this when she's older. Can you wipe my bum bum? Like, I love that you won't get off the toilet until Daddy comes and wipes bum. Like, I love the normality. I love the Sundays. I love the afternoons where I'm just on the sofa and she just jumps on me. She draws on me.
I pray with my son every night. We read the Bible, and it's become, even on days when I don't want to read the Bible, my son will tell me, "Daddy, can you read the Bible?" And I feel like I have a companion in a way, like almost like an angel telling me that you need to read the Bible.
My daughter loves to just, even now she's 16, 17, she's like, "Oh, what are you doing?"
Look,
Just call
I
her,
hope
"What
at
you
16
doing?
she wants to take me
Let's
somewhere.
let's go and do something." You know what I mean? It's just amazing. Just to have her around me it makes my day. It just makes my day. You know what I mean?
That friendship, the fact that there's somebody in this world who really cares about me, not just because of what I want to give them, but because we sort of like depend on each other in a way. So.
For me, I think it's just the innocence of being a child. Sometimes it's a flashback, like when you look at them and you see things that you do and you've done, or you're about to do, and you can just sit back and watch. They are carefree, and they're only carefree until you put something in front of them. So don't let them grow up too quick. So it's like, I like being a child around them, and just being around them. I think that's just the best thing about being a father, just being there and being a child sometimes. There's quite a few. The first thing is them growing up. The fears of the outside world. There's going to be a time where you're not here, or you're not going to be able to protect them. They're going to big school, they're doing all these things, and they don't need, not that they don't need you anymore, but you can't be there. That's one of my biggest things, especially with my daughter.
The scariest thing for me is personally, am I doing the right thing? I have no idea what I'm doing. This is my first child. You know what I mean? I have no idea. Every day I'm winging it. The same way she wakes up every day, and it's an adventure. It's an adventure for me. Every day. I have no idea what to come up against. I don't know what she's going to be like when she wakes up. I don't know what she's going to be like growing up. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. Am I forcing too many things on her? Am I showing her too much? Am I showing her too little? So every day is a fear for me.
So I think, like you say, the scariest thing is that responsibility of making sure that they do something worthwhile with themselves, and that they do the right things.
For me, when I first had my son, I was scared I was going to leave him in Astor or somewhere like that, you know. Would I forget him there? So I you know. But now I think it's more like you said, you know, one day our children are going to judge us. They're going to rate us how well we did, you know,
Don't
because
do that. Don't do that.
I'm crying.
I judge my dad,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I say the thing, you know. I say to people the things he did well, the things he didn't do well. He's passed on now. But yeah, they're gonna judge us one day, and I know that I'm not perfect, so it's just scary to maybe one day listen to what my son has to say about me, you know.